если он использует в своем бизнесе, ну, в этом beekeeping, искусственное оплодотворение маток называется искусственное.
Do you use like any artificial things for your queens?
Artificial things and
Do you know what is it?
like breeding, artificial breeding.
Yes.
You're talking?
Yes.
No, I haven't got into artificial breeding yet. Maybe down the line. I'm kind of 5 years into my breeding program, so everything I'm doing is I'm not that precise. I believe in a little bit of how do I explain this? If I was breeding a line of bees, let's say I was focusing on varroa tolerance, and that was very important to me, and I knew this line had it and that line had it, then I'd put a lot of attention in trying to specifically breed that queen, but I'm not. I'm breeding queens with a multiple number of traits, and so I believe in that queen going out mating with as many drones as you can find, and she's mating with those drones in which I bred from the year before. So it's my breeding program's kind of two-step. So I make my queens, they get established, they overwinter, and then next year drones are the ones breeding this year's queens. And I just think a long and involved process, it all comes together into much the same thing. I think just more, less control, I guess, but more of that natural selection kind of deal. So I haven't got into that. Carrie, she does all my queen work, and she's very keen on that. I'm just kind of holding back the reins a little bit. I says, whoa, just wait, let's just, we'll move ourselves forward in this in nice and slow fashion. But it looks very interesting. Maybe we'll do that someday, but we don't have time for one thing. But it would be interesting. I think our association, as we develop some programs here, we might be able to bring in some personnel to help us adopt some of this technology, create workshops which kind of teach beekeepers how to use the artificial insemination and like that, and I think there's opportunity there. So just extending the education, I suppose, that way. But yeah.
И Израиль спросили, у нас, там тоже спросили, у нас есть проблемы, вот то, что вот он пчеловод и я пчеловод, что мы с ним ругаемся, куда поставить пчелы, или вот твои пчелы прилетели ко мне, съели у меня сахар, или там вот такое. Именно между пчеловодами.
Okay, is there any conflicts between beekeepers and let's say where they place their bees, and if like some of the bees may steal the other beekeepers' sugar? Like, is there any conflicts amongst the beekeepers?
Oh yes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Do it?
Neighbor beekeepers never get along. We all have sharp elbows.
I have no problem in my space.
We're as long as there's like that gentleman's agreement where you have your apiary and you have your bee yard well established, and if a guy comes in within your territory, a mile, mile and a half, 2 miles, beekeepers like to see 2 miles between yards.
We don't have a law, right?
There's no law.
No law, it's
nothing
just like
that.
between you and me.
Yeah, but when a beekeeper, let's say I have my apiary here, and a beekeeper from over there comes and drops his yard right into mine, right beside my yard, my bee yard, I drive by and I start swearing because I get angry. Because those are my flowers, and he figured he wants to get them. So there's a gentleman's agreement, and so we walk around like this a little bit. And we kind of just for territory, because beekeepers are very territorial, and we have to respect each other. It's very important because what I'm doing here, we don't want to influence what they're doing over here, and we don't want them influencing what we're doing. So we've got to give ourselves some space so we can operate freely. Because I might be pulling my honey, I got to pull my honey off because I got to get some mite treatments in or whatever and start feeding. If he's too close, and I don't want my treatments getting into his production and hurt his honey crop. So he's got to respect that space, and I got to be able to respect his space. And we got to be able to beekeep in all the same place.
I respect you. I live so far.
But there's this countryside. We have a lot of flowers, so a matter of competing for flowers. I think there's lots to go around through the summer, but later on in the fall we start competing with some of those later flowers. Not as many, so there's more competition that way. Yeah, but the beekeeper that way doesn't like me. The beekeeper that way didn't like me. We're in good terms better now.
How many do you have beekeepers?
And the beekeeper that way gave me a nasty phone call a long time ago. We haven't talked for a while, so But the beekeeper on the other side of him is just fine with me.
How many beekeepers do you have around?
There's one there, there's two, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6. That guy just retired, 7. But another guy moved in, so about 7 guys around me. Yeah, which I'm kind of fortunate. Some beekeepers have to travel distances to find their yard sites, or my apiary is kind of all together. I'm about 10 miles this way, 10 miles that way, 10 miles that. So I have this like a big chunk of territory. So we farm a lot of land, so I can kind of claim that territory and kick those guys out. That's one of the reasons why they don't like me, because I farm the land, I pay the taxes on it, so I'm going to put my bees on here, so, hit the road. So they didn't like that, but I mean, that's just the matter of the case. And then around Miami, our family's been here for 80 or 90 years, so we're well known, so the neighbors have all given me their spot. So that was kind of nice for the area to support my apiary. So I'm close, which is really nice, really beneficial. Some guys will drive an hour and a half to get to their yard sites. And when you do that, you kind of lose connection with the area and the landowners, so you're not as personable, So whether one guy moves in or the other guy moves in, it's a little more fight for the territory. Yeah.
Теперь еще вопрос про сушь. Сушь это называется, когда рамку ты ставишь, когда он меняет рамки с сушью, вот сколько лет он